what is up and welcome back, or welcome if you are new to my channel. We are talking about planning a Disney trip in this video. So I have a Disney vacation coming up in 3 weeks and it is our third Disney vacation. I am very blessed that I'm able to work while I'm at Disney and share a bunch of Disney things with you guys as well. I asked you guys over on Instagram what you wanted to see for this trip. The number one thing was food and snacks, of course, but number two was how do I get started? How do I plan my trip? How did you plan? How did you budget? How are you saving for this family vacation? I am a single mom, by the way, if you guys are new to my channel. And so I am going to talk about all of that in today's video. Let's jump into it. So the very first thing that I do is I go to disneyworld.disney.go.com. And that is the website that you can go to whether you're on your computer or your phone or whatnot. And that is where I start my planning. So I go ahead to those 3 lines at the top and you can click on those and you can look at your park tickets, the resorts, where to stay, what to things to do, and where to shop and where to eat and all of that jazz. So the first thing that I do is I usually tap on the places to stay tab. And now what I do under there is I scroll all the way to the bottom. And if you see in this yellow section here, it gives you the deals. So you can say view special offers, and then it will show you all of the discounts Disney is currently offering, whether that be military discounts, pass holder, they always get discounts, or right now they are doing a Disney Plus subscribers save 25% off on rooms. And so that is what I am doing. You can click on the offers and see what the dates are, how many nights are minimum stay. They often have different deals going on. Once I look at the deals going on, I kind of check out the different resorts here. So let me do places to stay. I'm gonna hit view all, and then you can go ahead and click in the dates and play around with different dates to see what resorts are available, what pricing is available. Of course, off season is going to be a little bit cheaper. So like November, before you get to Thanksgiving and Christmas, those are gonna be the most expensive. Very end of August, beginning of September, usually many people are back to school then. And so they offer steep discounts or nice discounts then. So I always stay on property, and that's just because I like to stay in the Disney bubble. I don't bring my vehicle with me, and I don't know my way around Florida and things. And so that's just what I personally decide to do. It's easier that way for me. And I go ahead and check out the resort's availability. I check out the pricing with the discounts or the pricing in general and what they have available. So our very first trip we stayed at the All-Star Resorts. We did All-Star Sports, and then the last night was All-Star Music, and that is the Value Resort. So that's going to be the most inexpensive, least amenities, like not anything crazy high class or anything, just your standard hotel. But it is a Disney hotel, so it's still like fun. And they have just buses and whatnot to get to your parks. And so those are going to be the cheapest options for you. Then you have moderate resorts, which are, middle of the grade there, and then you have your deluxe. So I also stayed at the Polynesian last trip, which is completely opposite from the Value Resort that we had previously stayed at. I'm obsessed with the Polynesian, but yes, it's crazy expensive. So what I like to do is I click on the resorts and check out their gallery, look at what their amenities are, look at their pricing and the rooms and all of that jazz to see, what is really important to me. Do I want like a nice luxurious stay? Are we going to be spending a lot of time having resort days, or are we just going to be in the parks all the time? Because if we're in the parks all the time, barely at the resort, do I really need to be spending that much money on a hotel room when we're just sleeping there? Completely up to you, and Disney definitely has many choices for you guys to look at and see what is important for your family and yourself personally. I definitely want to stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge at some point. That is goals. And to stay in a Savannah View room, that would be just so amazing. And then they have monorail resorts. Those are the closest, like Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and the Contemporary. Those are the closest to Magic Kingdom, and you can take a monorail over there. You can take, they have boats, and then they have, of course, Disney buses that take you for free. So far right now, they are free Disney transportation that can take you to the parks and Disney Springs from your resort. And so that is also something that you should look at when you're looking at these resorts. See what they offer for transportation if that is important to you, and location wise, if you want to be spending many days at Magic Kingdom, you might want to be a little closer. There's just so many options, and then they all have different dining as well. The next thing that I do, not only do I check out, you know, different dates and pricing with my resort, I also look at airline. Since I am from Maine, of course we are flying. Well, I don't say of course, a lot of people drive, but we are flying. That's just what I choose. And then I look at airfare too and kind of play around with dates, whether I book them, you know, this specific day to this specific day. And then look, if you look on Google, you can Google where you're flying out of and where you're flying to. It will give you like a price graph to kind of see what the different prices are, and if you're flexible by a day or two, if it's going to be, you know, a couple $100 cheaper than on moving, you know, your trip down a couple of days, then that is a plus. So that is definitely what I did. So I first went on, looked at the resort pricing and then and availability, and then I also went on airfare and checked that out. So I found round trip nonstop flights. That was really important to me. I wanted to deal, I don't love dealing with layovers and running through a huge airport, trying to find a terminal with my kid, and I deal with motion sickness and had the worst traumatic travel experience our very first trip because I was so sick. So I just don't want to deal with all that. So it was important to me to find a nonstop flight both ways. Many people plan their Disney trips a year in advance, 6 months in advance, you know, or a couple of years in advance. This trip, technically I booked it only like 2 months in advance, but I had been planning it in my brain and looking at pricing for quite some time now. And so highly recommend planning far out, and that way you can save up. So I'm just gonna scroll and pretend we are booking sometime in September. Okay, and then from there you're gonna see what rooms are available for the nights that you picked. Again, you can play around and then you'll see what the pricing is. This is also, the pricing that you're seeing on the screen is not including the 25% off discount. I am a Disney Plus subscriber, so I would be eligible for that. But let's just say, okay, no discount. Let's click on, we'll just do a standard view since we are not needing any special view. And I'm just gonna walk you through what it looks like as you are pretending to book a trip. I do this so many times. And then different rates for different days. Like sometimes the tickets could be a little cheaper if you're booking them during midweek versus weekend stay. And so from there, you can go ahead and pick your park pass if that is something that you wanna do. It gets a little bit cheaper per day if you are doing like 5-day park passes or more, if you're traveling from, you know, United Kingdom and far away and having a long trip. So let's just say 4-day park pass, since there is Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. So there are 4 parks at Walt Disney World, not including the water parks as well. So let's just scroll down and then you can do the park hopper option. I'm not doing park hopper because in my opinion right now, where they only do park hopper from 2 p.m. to close, I just don't think it's worth it for me personally. We're not staying there for 2 weeks. If we were staying there for a really long time, I would probably add park hopper so I had the flexibility, but I just am doing the base ticket personally. And then you can go ahead and add what they call Genie Plus, which is basically their new fast pass system when you get there. So it's like the night before, from midnight until like 6:59 a.m. you can book. I mean, you can book it later, but you have to book it before your park day. And so that will not appear probably on your screen much longer here. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Mind you, this price that you're seeing here has no discounts applied. I would absolutely apply that 25% off discount. And so there it goes ahead and gives you this screen. You can add your memory maker, which is like a photo package. Many people love doing that. I have never done that myself. And then you can go ahead and you can check out. So from there, you don't have to pay for your entire package until 30 days before your arrival day. That is such an amazing thing that Disney does, in my opinion. You have to pay a $200 deposit on your package, or if you're booking just a resort, you have to pay for the first night of your resort stay, and then the rest is due on arrival. But if you're doing a package deal like this with resort and park tickets, you will just pay your $200 deposit, and then you can pay the rest off until 30 days before your trip. So I love that. And also they have an amazing cancellation policy. Check out or modify without penalty by, August 13th. What did I say? It was like 30 days before. Another feature that I really like about this website is that you can compare vacation offers. So if you click right here on the compare vacation offers, you can go ahead and add a few different states. So you can play around with your different resorts. You can play around with your length of how many park tickets you want, your length of stay, and just see how that impacts the pricing. I definitely recommend downloading the My Disney Experience app, and that is this little Disney World app on my phone. And then so you can go ahead and make your park pass reservation. So if you go ahead to the My Disney Experience app, you can make your park pass reservation, and that's what you should do immediately, just to secure which park you want to do on which day, because they are filling up the parks now. That is something new that they have done since the pandemic started and the closures and all of that. So you can go ahead onto the My Disney Experience app for that. You can, I'm sure, do it on their website as well, but this is just easiest for me. And then you can go to tickets and passes, and then you can go ahead and scroll down to the calendar, and you're gonna see which days are available. So some of them are yellow, which it says some of the parks are not available, and then the green means all of them are. And so it's very important that you make your park pass reservation. You can check the availability ahead of time, and then you can go ahead and make your park pass reservation from there. Very, very important. And then also something else to make mindful of if you're going around the holiday season, which is so long in Disney standards. It starts like in August. They start doing the Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties. And so what I almost did, and I would have been so sad, I had clicked on one of the days and I was like, yep, I think we'll go to Magic Kingdom on this day. Well, I had clicked on that day, and then I looked at the hours for Magic Kingdom, and I saw that they were closing at 6 p.m. because it's going to be a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So what that means is you're losing out on a few hours worth of park time, but you're paying the same price. And so if you don't have those special events park tickets, then you need to leave by 6 p.m. You're not able to ride any more rides. And so I was like, oh, thank goodness I had noticed that beforehand. And so I made a different park pass reservation for that day and just kind of moved my Magic Kingdom day to another day. And so be aware of that. So since this is our third trip, I have experienced both not having a resort day and having a resort day, and I highly recommend having a day off. Having a day off, whether it be a resort day, you spend it going to maybe a nice meal, hanging out at the pool, checking out other resorts, going to Disney Springs. Having just a down day is something that I really appreciate, because going to the parks is so busy. It's go, go, go. You're all exhausted. Your little ones are exhausted. They're probably not napping, and if they're napping in the stroller, it's not the same. And you're up late, you're up early, and it's so magical and amazing, but it's also very, very exhausting. So I highly recommend having one day, at least one day, to just do nothing. Like, just relax and do nothing, because it's still magical and a vacation. There's many different add-ons that you can add. Again, play around with the My Disney Experience app and play around on their website as well. And as far as dining goes, that window opens up 60 days in advance for if you're staying on Disney World property, and then you can go ahead and book, I think it's like 6 a.m. 60 days in advance. maybe even a minute sooner, you want to be on that website booking your dining. So what I like to do is I of course watch Disney Food Blog, I watch allears.net. Those are my two favorite Disney like information YouTube channels. And then I'll see like what snacks I want to have, maybe what dining locations and price point that I want to see, if I want to do any character meals. All of that is available right on their website. So right in the My Disney Experience app, you can click on that plus little plus button at the bottom, and then you can check dining availability. What I also like to do is go into the park, the My Disney Experience app, and then go in and look at all of the dining options, and look, you can clarify based on like character dining and things like that. Quick service means fast food, or sit down where you have to make a reservation ahead of time. And so that is what I love to do. I'm a very picky eater as an adult, and so I usually do mostly quick service. I do throw in some sit down restaurants here and there just to cool off in the air conditioning, to try something new, and then I do like to do a character meal if possible. And I like to write down prices, all of the snacks that I think that I want to eat, or the meals that I think that I want to eat. I definitely write down all of the prices and I add them all up, and I add in extras here and there so that I kind of know what I need to bring for money. And that's just how I work. I like to kind of know what I'm getting into ahead of time instead of going there, racking up this bill and not realizing how much I'm spending. That's just how I work and what has worked for us. The Disney dining plan is not back as of today. I do think that they've notified and said that it's coming back at some point in 2022, but I don't know when that is. So if they do bring that back, then Disney has basically, you can add on, when you're booking your resort and your park tickets, you can add on a dining package for a fee. So basically you're prepaying for all of your meals ahead of time, included in that package price, so you don't have to worry about it when you get there. So that's just a little note. I think that they're gonna add that on later. When you're also thinking about dining, if there's a specific restaurant that you really wanna go to and you're not finding availability, I like to go on mousedining.com and plug in the date and like dinner or specific time that you're looking for that restaurant, and it basically creates an alert. It will email you or text you when there's an availability, so you can hop right on and book it. And then many times the night before reservation, lots and lots of things open up, because if you cancel within 24 hours of your reservation, you're not charged that like penalty if you don't show up. And so many people are canceling the night before, so definitely keep checking back on the apps too. So mousedining.com, and then keep checking back, and you might be able to get your reservation that you are dying to have. Disney does allow you to bring in your own food and snacks if that is something that you want to do. And also while you're at the resort, you can order Amazon, Amazon Fresh Delivery, Amazon Groceries, and you can have your groceries delivered right to your resort, and they allow that. I did that our first trip since it was a little bit longer and Sydney was younger. I didn't really know, like, she couldn't go 5 minutes without eating a snack, or like she couldn't wait till 10 a.m. to have breakfast if we wake up at 7 in the resort and our reservation is here. So I wanted to make sure I was prepared ahead of time and buy bottled water for way cheaper than the $4 it is in the parks. So there is the booking. I know I've missed so much because I'm all over the place and it's a lot, but after all of that, I love to watch the wait times on the app. So I go ahead, get familiar with the My Disney Experience app, check out the wait times for each park to see what trending things are, what rides you might want to try to get in line for really early, because the lines get super long throughout the day. Another bonus of staying on Disney Resort property is you get early entries. So you get to be in the parks 30 minutes before other guests do, so you have access to those really long lines. And so it's called rope drop, and I definitely love to rope drop and then be there until close, or be there until we have done everything on our list. So this trip is going to be very different because we have a Genie Plus now, which is basically their fast pass system, but you do have to pay $15 a day per person in order to use that. And so you'll be able to select different attractions, lightning lanes, and then when you select it, It's gonna give you a time to go, and then you can basically skip the line. So whether you purchase that or not, and what, I'll be sharing all of that in my vlogs. I'll be sharing about it, if I think it's worth it, and what parks I think it's worth it at more than others and whatnot. So I'm definitely gonna be using that and letting you know. Okay, I almost forgot to talk about transportation from the airport to your resort. So Disney used to have Magical Express, and it used to take you from the airport out in Orlando for free to your hotel. That is no longer offered. So there are two options for buses. Mears Connect, which is the same company that was Magical Express, and then there's Sunshine Flyer. I booked through Sunshine Flyer because they had a deal where kids could go free if you booked at a specific time. And so I booked through them because it was, at least my child was free. And you do have to pay for those, but definitely look for deals. Those are your two bus options, and they will take you round trip from Orlando Airport straight to your resort. And then they will pick you up from your resort on the day that you're flying out and bring you to the Orlando Airport. Of course, you can take, you know, an Uber, a Lyft, taxi, and or rent a car or whatnot, but those are your options for transportation from the airport if you are not bringing a vehicle. So as far as budgeting goes, if you guys have been watching my channel, I'm sure you guys know, I am such a frugal person, but yet I spend my money when I want to, where I want to. Like, I'll spend a lot on something that means a lot to me, but also penny pinch everywhere that I can. And so of course, going on a Disney vacation can be very expensive, and I know there's only myself and my child, and so it's definitely cheaper for us to go than large families to go. Also, if your child is under 3 years old, they do not need a park ticket. So they're free until they're 3. And they can eat at buffets for free until they're 3. So that's a bonus. Sydney went right before she turned 3, so we got to experience that, and that was a blessing. So I have the Target Red Card, and you can purchase Disney gift cards from Target for 5% off. You can also purchase Disney tickets at, like, say, AAA. If you have a AAA discount, it's around the 5-ish% I found, with tax included and all that. You can get discounted park tickets on at, like, Sam's Club. I'm sure Costco and BJ's, I don't have memberships there, but I'm sure you can. Okay, so I look at the lump sum for my park tickets and my resort, and then I buy that much in Disney gift cards, saving 5%. So I'm saving the 25% from my Disney Plus subscription discount, and then I'm saving 5% on top of that because I have my Target Red Card discount. Disney gift cards you can use on food, dining, souvenirs, your resort, everything. It's amazing. So I just pay for everything with a Disney gift card that I got for 5% off. Also, with the Disney gift card, I like to share this trick because it can get overwhelming if you're buying, you know, $25 every time you're at Target. You're buying a $25 gift card like I do just to save up for the trip. Then you have, like, all of these gift cards that you're trying to pay your bill with, your $1,000 bill with. If you go to disneygiftcard.com, you can combine all of them. So you can't throw away your physical gift card, but it allows you to put all of the money onto one instead of having a million $25 gift cards. And then also, ways that I like to save and feel like I'm not using my own money is to use money that I'm saving on, say, apps like Ibotta app is an app that you can get cash back on your groceries. Poshmark, so I sell randomly, like I'll sell, you know, my clothing on there or my daughter's clothing on there, and I recently had like almost $50 from Poshmark, so I just instantly went out and bought a $50 Disney gift card with that, and that will be my, you know, food money, spending money in the parks as well. So in Maine, we do return our bottles for 5 cents, and so I will cash in my bottle money and have like another $20 for spending money. So little ways like that I can use money that wasn't wasn't really mine to begin with, and I feel like I have all this free money to spend at Disney. Another tip, so this one's like a little bonus tip on saving money, but it comes with a disclosure. If you don't trust yourself, don't do it. This is not financial advice, but if you have a credit card that gives you cash back, this is what I do. Put everything on your credit card and pay it off immediately. So if I'm getting gas, just put it on my credit card, pay it off immediately, and then you get those bonus like cash back points. And many people I know, like last time our plane tickets were completely free. They were booked through using credit card points and cash back. And so that's another option as well, but use at your own discretion. This is not financial advice, and I cannot be held responsible for bad choices. And then also, if your child is super into souvenirs, definitely look those costs up ahead of time. Some of them can be just outrageous, and it's really nice to go on shopdisney.com and you can kind of check out some of the stuffed animals and see what their price ranges are, and so you're not floored and your kid is screaming because they want this toy. It's probably gonna happen anyway. I'm very blessed. We just don't do the whole souvenir thing much. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I'm kind of like terrified for when it happens, but my daughter usually only wants a stuffed animal, and that is it. A stuffed animal and food, snacks, and that is it. So I will set aside one specific Disney gift card, and I will tell her, this is what you have for spending. You have to look for said stuffed animal underneath this price, or if you want a cheaper stuffed animal and you want this, you can buy this as well. And so just definitely set a budget ahead of time, kind of look at things to see what their costs are around ahead of time. That definitely helps. But again, we're not huge into souvenirs. Our very first trip, I bought a bubble wand. I found it at Target for like $5. It was a Toy Story spinning bubble wand, and I bought that and packed it in my suitcase to break it out for her when we got there. I also bought, I think, like a stuffed animal or something. I bought a couple of souvenirs ahead of time from like Walmart or just Target, some cheap, way cheaper than obviously Disney prices. And then I broke them out throughout the trip, and she felt like it was like some new exciting thing. As far as the stroller situation goes, the last 2 times I have rented a stroller from Kingdom Strollers. I do have an affiliate link down below if you guys are interested, and they just drop off your stroller for you at your resort, and then they pick it up for you at your resort, so you don't have to travel with it. And or if your child, you know, is older and you haven't had a stroller in forever, they have much more comfortable than renting them at the park. The park strollers are just these hard plastic things, so there's no chance your child's gonna sleep in that, and if they do, you have a unicorn, because my child could never and would never. And so I usually just do that, and then I'll add on the snack tray or whatever, and they come with a rain cover, and you can recline them so your child can sleep. And so my daughter is 5 years old. We do not use a stroller at home, but we will 110% be using a stroller in Disney. No way are we gonna make it in Florida heat and humidity in August walking miles at a park. We can barely make it 45 minutes at the local grocery store without her saying, "Can you hold me?" So yeah, your child will probably be using a stroller way longer in Disney than you might think. And it's just a blessing. If you want happy kids and you want happy adults and a happy trip, I highly recommend getting a stroller for your young child. All right, you guys, I know there was so much in this video. I hope it helped you just a little bit to kind of walk you through how I plan our trip, the things that I look for, and the ways that I save, and kind of like penny pinch here and there to make the most of our trip, and to make it possible as well, of course, on a single income, and just to make it so magical and happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one. Look forward to our Disney vlogs coming up in 3 weeks. Follow on Instagram, because of course I'll be sharing all the reels and the stories and the pictures, because I'm just so in love with Disney. It's so magical and it's so precious, and it's just so, it's so immersive, and I love it. So all right, you guys, I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.